I just unboxed my biggest Azure order yet, and let me go through it with you. We've got all of the canned goods, coffee filters, dryer sheets, half-gallon canning jars, trace minerals, all of the seeds for the garden, and I'm calling this my gluten-free haul because all of this is gluten-free ingredients for baking, and I will go over each of those with you. We've got all of the butter, the cheese, the meat, and the frozen items, and of course a bucket for storage. This is my biggest order yet with Azure Standard. I love them. We get drops every month. But recently my son was diagnosed with wheat and gluten allergies, and so we had to revamp and rethink all of our baking because I was doing a lot of fresh milled and of course putting all of that wheat and gluten into his body. So this is all gluten-free and there's lots of it to keep us afloat. And so I want to go over all of the great things I got for all of our baking needs. So we've got the chia seeds for the chia seed puddings and yogurts. There's so many vitamins and minerals in that. And then I've got the xanthan gum as well as the psyllium husk. Now these are binders for gluten-free baking. They are essentials and they are on a really great price with Azure Standard. We have the 1-for-1 flour blend from Bob's Red Mill. And so that's going to be great just for our everyday baking when I just want to do a substitute. But then when I'm doing my breads, I have a variety of flours that are going to be great for those needs. So we have the brown teff grain. That's going to be great for homemade breads. I have baking soda, of course. I got the larger one because I've been using so much of it with baking. We've got the tapioca starch, which is another binder that is needed depending on the recipe. I got some 100% beef gelatin. This is great for just making like your everyday jello, and it also has that collagen in it that's really great for your skin. We've got quinoa. I've recently learned that I can mill quinoa. That may be like common knowledge to some folks, but to me it's new. And so you can cook it up as a grain or you can mill it for a flour. I've got the buckwheat, very similar. Buckwheat is great for putting into pancakes and muffins and different things like that. I've got the millet. Millet is such a great item to have. It bakes up just like a grain. You can cook it up, steam it up, or you can also grind this into a flour, and I've recently been experimenting with doing that. And we've got the amaranth. So I have like every kind of grain and binder that I could need for all of our gluten-free baking needs. And then, of course, I bought more of these. These are like a top purchase for me. They are the half-gallon canning jars. And so typically I would store my flour in a container like this, and I do still have stuff to store in here. But since I'm going with these smaller bags of different grains, I'm going to use a mason jar sealer to put an airtight seal in there to store all of these grains for a longer period of time just to keep them fresh. And then this last month I tried out some of Azure's frozen goods, such as the butternut squash and the potatoes, and they are so great. All of the broccoli doesn't have just a bunch of stems in it. It's good broccoli florette. So I got all of the frozen veggies for a restock of my freezer, and then some more of the bison. I love bison. I have a recipe for bison biscuits and gravy that is just great, but I'm going to experiment with making those biscuits gluten-free this time. But bison is great just for chilies. You use it like wherever you would use ground beef. It has a high protein, low fat. This is a monthly staple. I usually will freeze half of the cheese for about 2 weeks while we go through the first half of it, and then unfreeze it and use that the second until I can get another block for the month. So if you get anything from Azure, you're looking just for the basics, start with some cheese. This is a really great cheese. I got their Parmesan as well. Beef bacon is where it's at, guys. This is so good. Just for breakfast, BLTs. This is such a good product to get. And then last but not least, we have the butters. This month we had Nancy's organic butter on sale, and we do actually go through a lot of butter, so I stocked up on those as well. So thank you guys for checking out my gluten-free haul. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'd love to discuss with you.